the deal, man? Another episode of Fuel by Craft. Getting right into it, man. Chiefs fans are just overreacting. Now, I understand you lose your quarterback for the rest of the season and potentially a big chunk, if not all, of next year. The team is getting older. Money is in a lot of bad places, but I do think there's a lot of overreacting. Now, I'm not going to be ignorant and act like there aren't things that you need to improve on quick. And it's only a few areas, but it is some obvious issues that you have to address. But I think the Chiefs are closer to getting back to where they were than most people think. Obvious information, Mahomes tears his ACL. As I'm recording this, a few hours ago, they reported he just got surgery and is going to start rehab immediately. The clear problems the Chiefs do have to address, I think, is the O-line upgrade, the running back upgrade, and guys that can put pressure on the quarterback or just the defensive line as a whole. This is the first time the Chiefs have missed the playoffs since 2014, the first time Patrick Mahomes has ever missed the playoffs in his NFL career. And a lot of the headlines are saying that the Chiefs dynasty is over. Some people are saying the dynasty was over when the Chiefs got whooped by the Eagles in the Super Bowl. I mean, whatever the case may be, because even if it is, how long is a dynasty even supposed to last? And just because this dynasty is over, I mean, you still have Patrick Mahomes, and I think as long as you got him, you have just as good of a chance as any other team to win the Super Bowl. Like I said, O-line upgrade. Now, whether they address that in the offseason or the draft, that is something that you have to focus on. 15 is the money of the team. You got to protect that guy. And the game is just won in the trenches on both sides of the ball. Teams like the Lions, they got so much better offensively. Yes, they got a lot of skilled players, but they got an offensive tackle. Same with the Buccaneers, Penei Sewell, Tristan Wirfs. A lot of these teams that are up there in the offensive ranks are led by a good quarterback with an even better offensive tackle. So the Chiefs did draft Josh Simmons out of Ohio State last year. He came into the season injured, was been dealing with some personal issues, so I'm not too sure what's going on with him. But he has all the potential to be that caliber player. But I still think the Chiefs need to address that aggressively this offseason. Even if Patrick Mahomes doesn't return, obviously the running back upgrade has to happen. Kareem Hunt's just getting up there in age. In my opinion, Pacheco hasn't been the same since the injury. I don't want to speculate right now, what skill players the Chiefs can get because it's still early. The draft order isn't set. A lot of players haven't declared yet. So I don't want to jump the gun on that. But a name that I'm hearing brought up quite often is Jeremiah Love, running back out of Notre Dame. Now, depending upon where the Chiefs do draft, I mean, they could trade up to get him, but that alone right there would be a huge upgrade for the offense. But like I said, I think they're closer to going back to where they were than most. People look at the Travis Kelce age and hear Patrick Mahomes in his 9th year and I don't understand why people are saying the Chiefs are old. They still have a top 10 youngest team in the league. I'm just confused on where the old narrative came from. Just thinking off in the future, how the Chiefs could possibly rebuild this thing. This is going to be the first time in the Mahomes era that the Chiefs get like a top 15 to 17 pick. Usually the Chiefs are picking at 30, 29, 28. And outside of Mahomes, the Chiefs haven't had too much success drafting first-round skill players. I mean, Xavier Worthy is pretty serviceable for what he's asked to do. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's not on the team anymore. Sky Moore, first-round pick, he's on the defensive side of the ball. So offensively, outside of Mahomes, or since they've gotten Mahomes, a lot of their offensive weapons have came, through offseason additions or in the later rounds. So for them to be able to get a skill player that early in the draft, usually those guys come into the league able to affect, right now, right on the spot. I feel like automatically puts you in contention when you pair that with Mahomes. That George Karlaftis contract isn't looking too good. Hindsight being 2020. Chris Jones, I think, is the highest paid defensive tackle in the league and didn't record a single stat in this previous game. And he even got up on the podium and didn't even know that the Chiefs were out of contention. So I'm not too sure what was going on in that locker room, but I think that just speaks volume. And they weren't really connected. They weren't really locked in. Maybe they gave up on the season already, whatever the case may be. Mahomes didn't give up on the season. He went out there with a bum knee, bad offensive line, with minimal chances to make the playoffs and still decided to go out there and give it a shot. And unfortunately, tore his ACL in the process. But I don't have any doubt that he'll bounce back and come back even stronger. Ironically, Tom Brady had the same injury in his 9th year, came back even better and won multiple Super Bowls since. So not too concerned about Patrick Mahomes coming back and being better. Wouldn't be surprised if he even comes back to be better than what we've already seen before, especially over these last few years, which have been considered down years for Patrick Mahomes. But like I said, as we get further along into the season and the draft spots start to lock in, then we can kind of get into more depth about who we think the Chiefs should go after once we get a better idea where they might be drafting from. But But attacking offensive line, attacking his running back room, and getting guys to get after the quarterback are, I think, the three things that the Chiefs need to focus on in order to, bounce back and to get into Super Bowl contention in the next 2 years or so. Let me know what you think about the Chiefs. Do you think the dynasty is over? How far off do you think they are from coming back into contention? This is Fueled by Craft.